Hello, this is an assessment of the Steinway Model S grand piano. It's 155 centimetres long, made in 1955. It's the shortest piano that Steinway made, and there aren't that many of them in the UK compared to Model M and Model O. I'd say there was 1 in 20 compared to those, so it's not that common to find in the UK. The client wants us to assess the piano just to see if there's any extra work to do on it. It has been restored in I think about 2011, and you can see it's satin black. It was originally mahogany apparently, so just have a quick look around the casework, and it seems to be in really good condition, so perhaps just dusting and cleaning is all that needs. There's a little mark there which maybe we can improve, and the top of the piano is also satin, so it's in good condition generally. And the fall of the piano is actually done bright mahogany, bright black, as you can see there. That's so that you get the reflection, so that's quite common. In the USA it's very common to find pianos finished like this. In the UK it's much more common to find them finished in bright polyester. So this is much more typical in the UK. This is the Yamaha made in Japan, just coming to stock C1, so be doing a review of that soon. So this is a 1955 Steinway. It doesn't have 3 pedals. It doesn't have the sostenuto pedal, though that's not very much used really, so it doesn't really matter about that. The ivory keys are in good condition. They've been buffed by the restorer, and there's a bit dusty, as you can see in the corner there. So it's, but it's in really excellent condition generally. Looking underneath the piano, I notice the restorer has taken out the coil spring here, which is on Steinways of this age. It does make the pedals really quite heavy compared to other makes of pianos, so we very often remove that as well. So that's not really a problem. You can also put a coil spring in there, but I don't recommend it unless you want really heavy pedals. And also if you look around here, you can see that the leg here is put on by these cleats, and very often they go loose like that. I'm going to ask our piano remover what he thinks about whether it's a good idea to have this style or the screw-in legs, which is on most other grand pianos. But it's obviously simple, but it does tend to go loose, and you can see that someone's padded it out a bit there so it holds. Now these are the original Renner hammers on the piano, and they weren't too used, so nothing wrong with leaving them on. There's a date here actually that says, I think it's 1st of January or 12th of January 1955. I've got a photo of that, so I'll put that on the video as well. And he hadn't changed the rollers on the piano, so these are the rollers here, and they're a little bit on the flat side. What we would normally do is change hammers, shanks and rollers. So we change the hammers, the shanks and the rollers, because the rollers tend to wear and they're a little bit on the flat side, so it means the touch, if you press down, let's have a look at this one here. If you press down on it, then it's a little bit on the notchy side, but it's really picking, it's not really that important. I'm being a bit picky. It does feel good, and the restorer's done a good job, and he has put talc here as well. You can see the white talc on the roller as well, so everything's been done well and graphited, and very importantly he's replaced all of the rails here, so the frame for the action. Very often the screws go loose in here, so you find that they don't hold tight because they're taken off so often on Steinways when they're restored, and even when they're just being regulated. And so the rail here tends to the wood inside the rail, this is metal, the wood inside tends to need replacing, so very often they replace the whole of the frame, which has been done here, and the buttons here interestingly too. They're absolutely new, so some excellent work's been done on the piano. And the piano does need slight voicing, but if you look at the hammers, they have been worn in, but they're not very used. They're still the right shape. They're not flat like you very often find on a lot of pianos where they really do need replacing. These ones don't need replacing. So in general the restoration has been extremely well done, some excellent work really. So it was restored in 2011, was mahogany originally apparently, and has been finished off in satin black, satin ebony it's called here. Often they say ebony rather than black in piano trade. And this little unicorn is moving a bit too far. There's very small things there. I think the main work, I would say, in his voicing, some of the hammers are brighter than others, but the main work here, if we look at the keys, and I've done key weighting, 52 is fine for the bass, 47, that's okay. Some of them here, 39 It's very light, I think, that's middle C, and 40 there, 44, 48. So they're a bit uneven. A new piano, a good quality new piano, or when we weight the keys as well, we do them 52 is fine in the bass, maybe 50 here, and then 48 up there. And if you want a lighter piano, you could have it lighter than that, but there's quite a lot of variety, as you can see here. So that's just an example. This is the bottom C here, 52 grams, just going down nicely. And if I put the 52 grams on middle C, you can see it goes down really fast. So there's 39 grams on middle C and just going down. So 39 grams is really should be more like 50 grams. So that's an assessment of a Steinway Model S grand piano made in 1955, 155 centimetres long. And it's a fine instrument. Been restored very well. Just a few things I've picked up on, and I think if it was my piano, the things I would like to do, the touch, get it a bit more even so that you could rely on the same weight on each key. Like a new piano really, this is what we try to do to our own stock and when we restore pianos. So the bass is fine, but it's just the middle here is a bit light and it's a bit varied. But otherwise, apart from that, it's in very good condition indeed. There's not a huge amount that needs doing. I think a little bit of voicing as well. And possibly replace the rollers. If you're going to do a lot of work on it, we would replace the rollers, I think, if it was a stock piano. It wouldn't refine it that much, but it would be something we felt we should do. But normally we would put hammers, new hammers, shanks and rollers. In this case, the restorer felt the hammers were in extremely good condition, which they are. So there's no real need to do that. And it's certainly a decision that we could have made ourselves. So difficult to know sometimes what to do on a piano. The original Steinway hammers fit the piano really well, and if we replace them, it's a lot of work to get them regulated, toned, voiced, so that they're as good as when they were new. So I hope that's helpful. Thank you very much for listening. If you're interested in having a piano restored, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com.